Baby plugs be trim.
We gotta save the young minds, because we running out of time. You gotta get up out that line, because we running out of time.
We gotta shape the young minds, we gotta let them know that it's the time. And if you got some barriers, gotta break them barriers down. And it's okay to lose yourself, just know that you can be found. And if you ever wanted hope, just be the hope you want in town. I know this life can be hard and it can leave a sad frown, but you gotta watch your dreams, you gotta bring them inbound. You some kings and you some queens, you gotta fix your gold crown. Never worry about the haters, leave them in the wrong crowd, wrong crowd. We gotta shape the young minds, because we running out of time. We gotta shape the young minds, because we running out of time. You gotta get up off that line, because we running out of time. We gotta shape the young minds.
Welcome back to the Shaping Your Minds TV show. And for our second guest that we have tonight on the show is Mr. Dan Duster. He is a motivational speaker, success coach, and a financial advisor. He is known as Dan Duster, the Barrier Buster. So for today, my question for you, Mr. Duster, is what are some of the major accomplishments of Ida B. Wells?
Certainly, yeah. So I think I mentioned Ida B. Wells is my great-grandmother. It's my father's grandmother. So 2 minutes on her is born into slavery in 1862. In 1884, over 70 years before Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus, Ida B. Wells refused to give up her seat on a train and was forcibly removed and subsequently sued the railroad and won. Was a school teacher in Memphis, wrote about the disparity in the school system between the white schools and the black schools, and unfortunately, you could read that article today and it would still be relevant. 1892, launched her career as a civil rights activist and anti-lynching crusader. 3 of her friends were lynched in Memphis. They were store owners and pretty much result of succeeding while black. And so that she started an anti-lynching campaign that she's really the most prolific civil rights person in America's history. Other things she did, met with President McKinley, 1898, to have lynching be a federal crime, which didn't happen. That was 124 years ago. Literally, this past Tuesday, President Biden signed that into as a law. My sister and I were there for that. So, just quick overview on Ida.
Yeah. And so, how would you say, like, how did she influence you today? Like right now, like sitting in this chair, like how did she influence you?
Several ways, and actually I do speaking and coaching. I've got a keynote and workshop that I do, and I distilled it into 5 things that I use WELLS as an acronym. So, be wise with your choices, be excellent with your actions, live with integrity, lead with courage, and speak with passion. And Ida did each and every one of those. Whatever choice she did, she made a choice that was not just for her, but was for her people, and making good choices that way. She was excellent. She did the best at everything that she tried. If you ever read her articles or read her story, she was excellent with her actions. Living with integrity is, doing the right thing, even if you're scared or even if you don't feel like it. And she did things she had her life threatened constantly, and still did things. And so with integrity, it goes along courage. I think it's tough to have integrity if you don't have courage to say, I don't care what other people are thinking. And lastly is speaking with passion. In order to speak with passion, you have to live with passion. So think about things that you're passionate about that you want to do, and go after it. And then that will show up in your energy and your speech.
Yeah, and one thing about passion, passion is something that isn't like taught. Like it's something that you just gotta have. Like you can't fake passion. Like you either gonna have it or you don't.
That's it.
So a question I have for you is, what are the top things young people can do to be successful today?
Top things young people can do to be successful today, kind of as Mr. Slaughter was saying, having the right foundation. And so, having one is having old people around them, the trusted adults that can help guide them. As you have your own life as a young person, I'd say, think about what you want to do long term. And I have an analogy about inertia, which is objects at rest stay at rest, objects in motion stay in motion in that same direction unless something knocks you off course. So think about what you want to do long term and think about the things that can knock you off course and avoid them. Again, we talked before the show, is your social circle, have positive people in your social circle that are going to support you and what you do instead of having you do dumb things or criminal things. So that's number two. Number three is some of those, the wells. You got to be wise with your choices. That's number one.
Yeah, and it's actually crazy that you did say that statement. I guess school really taught me something because that's the only thing I remember from chemistry is that statement that you said.
Inertia, yeah.
Another question I have for you, sir, is why is it important to start thinking about your legacy when you are young?
So it's important to start thinking about your legacy when you're young because, well, first off, let's talk about legacy. So as a descendant of Ida B. Wells, people are always like, hey, what's a powerful legacy? That's great. And humbly, I'm appreciative of that, but I'm like, I've got nothing to do with Ida B. Wells. I'd be proud if, I produced Ida B. Wells. Now, I say that somewhat tongue-in-cheek because, of course, I'm proud and humbled to be her descendant. But her legacy, and again, we talked about, I've overheard you talking about make a blueprint. Is that's what you need to do, is make a blueprint, and the blueprint being, what do you want to do in life? What are your passions? How do you want to be remembered? What difference do you want to make in life? And that can be as an inventor, as a teacher, as an educator. And legacy is, how do you want to be remembered? What impact do you want to make?
Yeah, and that's a real good question to ask because even me just thinking about it, like, I'm at the point in my life right now where I want to do things that's big and that's great. Like I want to do things that make an impact in the world. Like, I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave the world better than how I came in, if that makes sense. So it's like in order to do that, you have to recognize that. And sometimes a lot of kids don't have that opportunity to even get that perception in their head, if that makes sense, because it's like, it's so much going on. It's killings. Like some kids, like you can't even, instead of getting up in the morning and brushing their teeth, they worrying about, okay, I'm gonna make it to school,
right.
Or how is my mom is gonna pay for me to go on a field trip and things like that. So all these problems that children have, it extends to just the environment, everything that's around them, and it's just like sometimes it's hard for them to get that perception in their head because of just everything that they are around. So I really do like that question that you answered. And my last question that I have for you, sir, is as a financial advisor, what advice do you give to people about creating wealth?
Well, so I'll answer that. And before that, I just want to say I'm proud to be on the stage with you, Jairi, where you are and giving your story, brother. You are a success. And I'm humbled to be on the stage with you, and I want to stay in touch because you're going to do things to change the world. So I'm excited about that. So the question is, as a financial advisor, what advice do I give to people? Same advice is, plan well. So, be wise with your life choices, be wise with your financial choices. Some things that we're not taught, and I was taught. Again, I was taught how to be responsible with money, but not how to create wealth. There's a big difference. So number one is be responsible with money. Is, pay your bills on time, live beneath your means, and make wise financial choices. And be interested in interest rates. Get the lowest interest rates you can. We can do a whole another segment on that. As far as wealth, again. Live beneath your means and invest wisely. Go for the long haul. A lot of times in our community, we want to get rich quick. I advise people who have literally hundreds of thousands of dollars that they've saved because they're not overspending, and it's for the long haul. They'll start their fund when the child is 1, and they'll keep it growing. So by 50, they're a millionaire.
Yeah, I really do wish that I was here like 4 years ago because I've touched so much money and blew the money literally on unnecessary things. I never really knew the knowledge of like investing in stockings or just putting money here, flipping it, or like trying to invest in real estate and things like that. I never had that opportunity to learn. So it's like I literally just blew money out, and then it's like now. Like when I was younger, my mom used to always tell me, she was like, every time you get some money, just put $1 away. just put $2 away. I never understood that because when I was young, I said, this is my money. I'm gonna take my money. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I never understood. And it's crazy because when I was younger, my mom always say, everything that I'm telling you now, you're gonna learn it for yourself. And I used to always be like, you know what? You know, as a child, you just think parents think they know everything and that you just nothing. But as I am getting older, everything she said is she told the truth about.
Right.
And so it's like I wish that I had, listened to those, listen to what she said. Like even now, like me and my mom, like we starting to get like a good relationship now because I'm learning that like when you get around older people or people that has been through things that before you've been through things, they are wise. Like it's nothing wrong with listening. Like a lot of problems, even in today's, like we go through stuff when we really don't have to. If we could just literally sit down and listen, and I think as black people, sometimes it's hard for us to listen. And the big thing of that is because of like our pride. We all have so much pride. We all don't want to. I suffer from it,
Right.
But I'm not perfect, I'm a work in progress, and I'm trying to and I'm really trying to learn on that, and just to even, like, I know we talking about you right now, but to even to go to your segment about earlier today, all of this really just come around, and it really just comes to just like the one big question is just like we have to create environments, we have to create spaces for children to be their best potential and to reach and to have great success. In order to do these things is that we have to have the resources for them. We have to have people in their lives, even if it's like bringing back after school programs again. I know COVID-19 is something else right now, and it has stopped the world right now, but even just giving the hope back to the kids, like, because at the end of the day, the kids is like, they are future presidents, they are future mayors, like it's their future. So if we don't give the hope into them, then how can we have hope in our country when our country is based upon our youth,
And that's why we have to hold certain people accountable, elected officials. And back to you, did you know that Ida B. Wells was the co-founder of the NAACP? Mm-hmm. Right, because I'm writing a book about the first president of the NAACP, and I ran across Ida B. Wells. Just want to let you know.
Yep, 1909, yes, sir.
Yes. I'm the first vice president of the NAACP in the South Suburban branch. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put some respect on your name, okay? I like that. Well, I'm really glad that I was able to interview you guys. I really do see, like, I learned a lot from both of y'all, even sitting here today. Like, I'm not perfect, and like this is like my very first experiment doing something like this, and I really enjoyed. I really learned from you, and I really learned from you, and I just want y'all to know that, like, even as a young person right now, like the words and the kind words that you spoke with me today, it will not go. It didn't go in one ear out the other. I promise you, I will take those words, and I will run with it. And just for anybody just watching, like, there's nothing wrong with being around wise people. You are who you hang around, and if you want to be successful, hang around successful people. If you want to be broke, you're gonna be broke. And the way inflation going right now, we don't got time to be broke. Like, we all need to get money and successful. But I just want to thank everybody for watching the Shaping Your Minds TV show. Like I said, my name is John Parker, but I'm also known as Menace, and I'm becoming
It's okay to lose yourself, just know that you can be
Thank you.
Outstanding job. Outstanding job. Pleasure to you.
I know this life can be hard and it can leave us sad frown. Because we running out of time. We gotta shape the young minds. Because we running out of time. You gotta get up off that line.